Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Mahabharata 544. As you may remember, the description of what a king should be is getting a little tricky. He should have clever spies at his service and find out the secrets of his enemies. He should bribe and cajole the officers of the enemy and win them over to his side. A king should be pleasant in speech. He should have about him people who are all like him in nature and in noble qualities. The only difference between the king and his officers should be the white umbrella. The best king is the one whose subjects live in freedom and happiness, as they do in their father's house. Peace will be theirs, and contentment. There will then be no wickedness, no pretense, no dishonesty, and no envy. The very core of a king's duty is the protection of his subjects and their happiness. It is not easy. To secure the happiness of his people, he should use diverse methods. A king should be proficient in the art of choosing honest people to hold important offices. Skill, cleverness, and truth are all three necessary in a king. Old and fallen buildings and living houses should be renovated by him. If he has to win the good opinion of his subjects, he should know how to use his powers in inflicting corporal punishment and fines on miscreants. The king should remember that his treasury should always be full. Supervision of the work of all his officers should be done by the king himself. He should never trust the guardians of the city or fort implicitly. He must produce disloyalty among the people in a hostile country, and he must have friends and allies there. He should amass troops, and this should be done in secret. A king can never protect his kingdom by candor and by simplicity. A king should be both candid and crooked. He must employ crookedness and wrong acts when he wants to subdue the enemy. All these things should be concealed behind a candid and open exterior. Yudhishthira, how did the word Rajan come into use when a king is addressed? A king is like any other human being on earth. His body and limbs are like those of anyone else. His understanding, his senses are similar to those of many others. He has the same joys and griefs, the same number of years to live on the earth, like anybody else. How then did it happen that he's considered different? This world is made up of men and women who are far superior to him in intelligence, bravery, and all accomplishments. And yet this one man rules the others, though they are superior to him. Why should it be the rule that one man or woman is worshipped by all the others? Bhishma, I will tell you, in the beginning there was no king, there was no punishment. These two were not needed then. Men and women were all righteous, and each one protected the other. As time passed on, however, the hearts of people began to be invaded by errors. Once errors enter the heart, the mind gets clouded and the sense of right and wrong begins to wane. It was even so with the people of the distant past. Covetousness was the first guest in their hearts. When covetousness came into life, people began to want things which did not belong to them. The next passion to be born was lust. Lust can never exist alone. It has to have a companion, and so wrath came into existence. As soon as these terrible passions found places in the hearts of people, righteousness had to beat a hasty retreat. Along with this, confusion happened, another great calamity. Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come